Hey, Solid Source, Jeff Henderson back with you. And today we're concluding our series. I hope you're really sad that this is the conclusion. We're concluding our series, The Best 4 Practices for Your Business and Your Life. So let me give you a quick recap. Hopefully not only have you watched the 3 previous videos, but you're actually implementing them. Think abundantly, gave you a little exercise on that. Plan intentionally, gave you an exercise on that. And execute consistently. That all leads to number 4. And let me warn you about number 4. Some of you, when you hear number 4, you might roll your eyes and go, oh, that's not that really important. I actually think this might be the most important one, and I'll explain why. 4th one is simply this: celebrate frequently. Celebrate frequently. Let me tell you why I think from an organization standpoint, one of the many reasons I love this company, but from an organization standpoint, just generally, why this is so important. Maybe you are familiar with the author Patrick Lencioni. He's written a lot of great books. And when he goes and consults with organizations, he says he looks for one factor as he walks into an organization, or maybe he's doing something virtually, and how he can sense how the team is interacting. And he says if this one thing is missing, he realizes that this company is in trouble. And what he's looking for isn't data and spreadsheets, and I'm all for data and spreadsheets, okay? But what he's looking for is, where is the joy in the company? Isn't that amazing? I mean, here's a consultant, and really a high-powered consultant, and this guy's sold millions of books, and companies around the world ask him to come in and speak, and what he's looking for as he walks the hall is, where's the joy? Because what Patrick Lencioni knows is that if this organization isn't celebrating frequently, then there's something that's going to die in the human spirit of the people that are working there. That's why celebrating frequently. That's why, by the way, I love Agent Appreciation Day, and I hope someday, we're all back together. But Agent Appreciation Day, you know what it is? It's celebration. It's celebrating who you are and what you've done. And when an organization gets too busy and goes, we probably need to do that sometime, when they don't do that, the joy flame in the organization begins to flicker and die. And don't take my word for it. Take Patrick Lencioni's word for it. When he says this, when he says, I'm looking for whether or not joy is happening in an organization. Now, I'm talking business, but let's talk about personal. How often do you celebrate? How often do you reward yourself for making some progress? Any person in the health field would tell you that one of the things you got to do is to celebrate progress, is to celebrate frequently, to actually turn around and celebrate where you've come from. How often have you done that? Let me push a little bit. This isn't true for all of us, but I would say probably most of us. Your worst critic is you. You don't give yourself enough credit. You are so busy, and I can totally relate to this, you're so busy looking ahead that you don't look back. Now, whatever you might believe about the Bible, there's a biblical principle that says it's really important for you to reflect back before you go forward. I mean, you see this play out biblically. There's this principle of reflecting, of learning, of celebrating, of adjusting, and then moving ahead, right? But sometimes that inner voice, that critical inner voice, is so critical of the mistakes we've made in the past that we can't see the progress we've made in the present. And when you do that, the joy flame in your heart can begin to flicker a little bit. Isn't that true? So I want you to celebrate frequently. And for me, for every 90 days, I get away and I look back and I celebrate some things. Every week, I'm trying to write down, here are the wins I had for that week. Remember, plan intentionally? I want to try to find 3 wins for the next day. And when I look at those and go, look, I did all 3. Or you know what? I made 2. Or I can get better. But just celebrating, however it is that you want to celebrate. But that's why for those of you that serve people, I would tell you this: celebrate them. And here's the organizational principle. The organizational principle is when you celebrate frequently, you are rewarding the behavior you want repeated. Let me say that again. Here's the principle. Here's why you need to celebrate frequently. You want to reward the behavior you want repeated. And that's why celebrating frequently, I think, might be the most important of the 4 best practices. Because you're creating joy in the organization, Patrick Lencioni. You're rewarding the behavior that you want repeated, either organizationally or personally. And that can fuel you to keep going. So here's the question. When's the last time you celebrated? And how can you increase that celebration for you and the people in your life? So, solid source. Brief recap. Here are the best 4 practices for your business and life. Think abundantly, plan intentionally, execute consistently, and celebrate frequently. That's a fantastic pathway to follow. And you're in an incredible organization that wants to fuel you, to help you do those 4 best practices, which is why I'm here. So let's do this. Let's think abundantly. Let's plan intentionally. Let's continue to execute consistently. But my goodness, when we do all that, let's pause and look back and celebrate frequently. Solid Source, I'm cheering you on. I hope this series has been very helpful for you. I can't wait to the next one. But until then, you and I have our work to do with these 4 best practices. I'll see you next time.